take a look at this morning's international newspaper front pages now, and I'm delighted to have the Zimbabwean journalist Thamsanqa Zhou back with me for that. Tam, thank you very much again for joining us on this segment here. Let's start with the Sunday Times in South Africa. The front page there, South African taxpayers are to pay millions more to the African Union. So what is this story all about here?
The story is about the AU summit that we spoke about earlier.
Of course, yeah.
What's happening is they are going to adopt a new funding formula because there's this determination by the African leaders that they need to reduce the amount of money that that is given to the AU or to sustain the AU from the West. Because at the moment, my understanding is about up to 72% of the budget of the AU is actually funded by people who are not African. And so the African governments want to retain control, and they want to be in charge of the agenda, and they want to make sure that they fund it themselves. So they are agreeing a new funding formula, which means most of the countries, not just South Africa, most of the countries will have to pay more towards the African Union.
Sure. Also on the front page there, we've got Mbalula there, so no plans to ask for the $10 million refund. So this is, of course, the sports minister in the country, Fikile Mbalula, who was very much caught up in the controversy of the FIFA allegations in the last sort of week and a half. It doesn't look like they're going to ask for that diaspora fund money refunded anyway. So we'll move on now to This Day Live. The Senate, the shape of things to come. This is the This Day newspaper, the front page of, or one of the front stories on the online section of the newspaper there. So this is relating to Senator Bukola Saraki. On Tuesday, he was announced as the President of the Senate. He's been speaking. So what is ahead then for him and the Senate in Nigeria?
I think the story is actually looking at the way he was elected, because Saraki, what happened was he was not understood to be the APC candidate ahead of Lawan, because what happened was Lawan wanted to go for it and Saraki wanted to go for it. So within the APC, it appeared like Lawan was going to win. But what Saraki did is he's understood to have gone to the PDP guys and said, okay, you are senators from the PDP, we can make a deal. There's about 49 or so of them that agreed, and then he won the elections to be the president.
Sure.
So the things to come, they were just looking at this political journey that the APC are going to have with people and competing forces within it.
Sure. Let's move on to USA Today, the weekend edition here. I'd like the story here with the analysis story on the front page. I mean, we've got the main picture story there of Pope Francis and Vladimir Putin there. So he's advising Vladimir Putin to achieve peace in Ukraine. But the White House realizing Iraq's inadequacy is the sort of central story on the front page here. Additional American personnel to help in the battle against IS in Iraq, Islamic State. Is this a sign that Americans don't have the confidence of the Iraqi army in the country?
What U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter appeared to be saying is that although they have trained the Iraqi army over a number of years, they have equipped them, America does not believe that the Iraqis have the will to fight the Islamic State forces that are there. So they want to send an extra 450 that President Obama was announcing of what they call advisors and people who can train, despite the fact that they already have about 3,000 troops on the ground. But President Obama said they don't want American troops to go back and be the combat forces. They just want to make sure that they go and train and make sure that things are happening. But what is interesting in the story is they are beginning to talk to Sunni tribes people who are opposed to Islamic State and think that might make a difference.
Could well be. We'll watch that.
Because there's been a big problem with using Shiite-based militia people to fight Islamic State in the Sunni-dominated area, because that doesn't appear to have been going down.
So many regional factions within various cities in Iraq. Moving on to the China Daily now, Tam. I'd like the story here of the Pentagon talks to aim to strengthen ties here. So we could see further, I guess, closer relationships between China and America. So Ash Carter there alongside the Central Military Commission there in China. or beg your pardon, in Washington on Thursday. So, I mean, what, are we going to see more ties between China and Washington on security and trade here?
That is what they say. Fan is actually the vice chairman of the China's Military Commission, Central Military Commission, and that is he is the highest military person since President Xi came to power that is visiting America. And what he's talking about here with Defense Secretary Ash Carter is that the two countries must work together insofar as the military operations are concerned and share information, and maybe from a technology point of view, and make sure that there is less conflict within the disputed areas. We know within the sea areas, China is having problems with Japan and others. So this visit is all about strengthening the cooperation between America and China in military terms.
There we go.